Just leave. They destroy your name and make you look like the abuser. Suddenly, you're the villain and they're the victim. You were the one holding everything together. Now they've painted you as unstable and everyone believes them. You're already shattered from the discard. And before you can ever even breathe, the narcissist is out there spinning stories about you, twisting facts, and casting themselves as the victim. You're hearing things about you that you've never said, motives you've never had, a version of yourself that is so far from who you truly are. And perhaps worse, the closest people, the ones that you loved, the ones that you felt supported by, are believing them. This is what a smear campaign looks like. It's not just gossip or venting. It's calculated character assassination. And it often begins before the relationship is even officially over. I'm Namita Purohit, a leadership and life coach. Grounded in Eastern wisdom and Western psychology, I help high-achieving men and women like you heal from toxic narcissistic relationships and reclaim your identity, your voice, and your peace. This podcast is sponsored by the HealStrong program, my signature 5-step coaching program to help you make a full recovery from toxic narcissistic abuse. Link in description. Narcissists run smear campaigns for only one reason: protection. And it's not to protect you, it's to protect themselves, to protect their image. They need to make you look unstable, untrustworthy, or vindictive, so that if you ever speak the truth about them, no one will believe you. And let's be honest, by the time they do this to you, you're already not at your best. You're drained from the abuse, drained from the chaos they've created in your life. There's a lot of fog in your brain. You're becoming more and more reactive. You're snapping more at people, not just at them, but other people also. And that's just because you have gone through it's something called as complex PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's everyday living in stress that's made you very different from what your true personality is, which is calm and composed. And you've been living in a war zone of emotional chaos. And you're speaking your truth, but in a very reactive and angry way, which is natural. And what happens is, because of all of this, you don't seem like a victim. Because you're not calm, you're not articulate, you're angry. And you don't seem composed. And because you look angry, people have a hard time having compassion for you or empathy for you. And that's exactly what they're counting on. They'll use your lowest moments, the times you screamed, sobbed, begged, or lashed out to them, as proof of who you truly are. They'll cherry pick your weakest hours and they'll turn them into your permanent identity. Meanwhile, the narcissist becomes the calm, rational, concerned ex, the one who tried to help, the one who's concerned about your mental health, the one who has put up with so much of your reactivity and screaming, and how they are the misunderstood hero of the story. And the people around you, friends, family, co-workers, they become flying monkeys. Some of them mean well, others just love drama, they love gossip, they don't have anything happening in their life, so they're very clued into what's happening in yours. But all of them, because of their own self-weakness, or they themselves being low-functioning narcissists, they echo back the narcissist's version of the story, and suddenly your reality gets questioned again and again. And it's very isolating, it feels cruel, and it's designed to break you. But here's what they don't expect: that you'll still be able to find yourself in the ruins, that you'll still remember who you truly are, that you'll stop fighting for approval, start anchoring yourself in the truth, and over time people will see the truth. And it's not because, who you say you are or who people say you are, and because they can see that you're not that unstable person that they're making you out to be. It's temporary. And they'll see you rise back, and they'll know that about you. They'll know that you were the calm and composed one. You were the one who held it all together. Over time, they'll know that is true because of how you rise, and also because of how the narcissist behaves with them after they're done with you. Because when you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. So the narcissist is not doing this only to you. They'll do that to anybody they want to get done with. Their narcissistic behavior is not just reserved for you. They are the orange from whom the orange juice comes out. They are the narcissist, and it's what narcissistic behavior is going to come out of them. And you remain unbroken and fully lovable and stable as they are. Because you're the soul, whole, eternal, and untouched by their projection. And as the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna reminds us that the soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. So your true identity cannot be affected by any of the material elements, which is earth, fire, water, and air. So what to speak of the smear campaign and the criticism that they do to you? It doesn't touch your soul. So you don't need to defend your truth. You just need to live your truth. But at the same time, you're concerned about what people will think, and you'll be worried about why the narcissist is behaving like this with you. You want their love back. You want them back. So how do you deal with a smear campaign? That they're doing this. They're smearing you, your reputation with all the false things so that you get even more isolated and you have no support. And even when you start speaking your truth, nobody believes you. So there are 3 things you can do. The first thing is, you don't try to win the narcissist back, nor try to convince the narcissist of your goodness. It's a total waste of your time and energy because they don't want to see it. They'll never see it. And you will have to give the validation to yourself. Their apology will not heal you. So waiting for them to see you for who you are, waiting for them to validate you, waiting for them to tell you, I'm sorry, their apology, their validation is not going to heal you. And them seeing you will not make you feel complete the way you really want to feel complete. It's about you giving that validation, you giving that seeing yourself with love is what is going to help you feel grounded and complete. Yes? Point number 2 is you don't chase people to believe your side. Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. So those who believe the narcissist's version without even trying to verify facts with you, you never had a relationship with them. They were shallow, always to listen to one side and sideline you. So do they really matter? Do such people really matter? Yes, it's hard that, I couldn't even see through them. They're siding with, my partner. They're siding with, my spouse who's a narcissist. And it's so sad that, how can they do that? And you're shocked and you're trying to convince them of who you truly are, etc. But they've made that choice already. So it's hard to recognize that, they were really not my well-wishers in the beginning, and I'm so alone and I'm so lonely that I really don't have anyone by my side. And we keep trying to convince people, but it really doesn't matter because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. So you don't explain yourself to those who have already decided what's true. They've already made that choice. And just because they've made that choice doesn't mean that they know the truth, and doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you and you have to. And just because they believe something is true and that becomes the truth. No, truth is much deeper than that. So instead, you just pause, you grieve, you return to your center, and then you will rise. Just like cream naturally comes on top of the milk. Similarly, truth will always rise to the surface and be a shining light for everyone to see, even them. And point number 3, what you need to do is your job now is to take all that pain, all that anger, all that loneliness, all that grief, all that emotional energy, all that suffering, and turn it into a fuel for your healing and growth, for your own resuscitation, learning from this experience, healing yourself, and healing yourself in such a way that, you're healing that vulnerability that made you susceptible to that abuse in the first place, whether it was hyper independence, whether it was low self-esteem, whether it was not having enough love for yourself, or feeling love is at a premium, love has to be earned, or whether it was neglecting your own needs and feelings and your aspirations, whatever that was. Healing all of that, healing from the abuse, and rising up like a phoenix. And that's why the HealStrong program, the logo is of a phoenix, with one wing is yellow, which is still on fire, and the other wing is pink, which is getting healed. And it's looking up to a cherry blossom flower, just like and it's blossoming, it's resurrecting itself from the fire which it allowed itself to be burned into, and now it's coming back fresh and new, fully strong, blossoming like a cherry blossom. So you don't want to get back at them, but you want to come back to you by using all this energy in your own growth. And if you're ready to begin that process, not just to survive, but to rebuild in full, there are 3 things you can do to start. If you want personal guidance, I offer one-on-one coaching to help you move through this with clarity and power. For a self-directed journey, you can join the HealStrong program with coaching courses and community rooted in Eastern wisdom and Western psychology. Or you can begin with the free webinar, Break Free from Toxic Abuse, where I teach that my signature 5-step HealStrong process to help you understand what happened and what to do next. So you'll find all the links in the description. And remember, you didn't lose your worth just because someone else couldn't see it, or just because someone else shouted out too loud and they said a lot of falsities about you. You didn't lose your voice. You didn't lose your image. It was just silenced temporarily. And remember the visual of the phoenix rising above and the cream rising above on top of the milk. That the truth will always be out. Who you are and your true personality is going to shine. Engaging with them, trying to make them see the truth, trying to make the flying monkey see the truth is a massive waste of time. Now is the time to remember who you truly are, to stand in your truth, and to walk forward with grace, because your comeback has already begun. And I look forward to seeing you inside. Bye-bye.